Alright, so it is March 15th of 2025 at, well, the clock says 10 to 3 in the morning, but an hour was, I think, put ahead, right? So old time is almost 3 o'clock in the morning. New time is almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I slept because, you know, I'm, I suppose, depressed. And just, you know, when you under a lot of stress, you get extremely tired. Right? And I don't know. Good, Mickey, get away from me. Ooh, go away. So anyway, the reason I'm putting on this video is because of this. You ready? It's kind of funny because I didn't expect this, okay? What do you think it is? I'm in the kitchen. Oh my God. Talk about creating problems for yourself. Look at it. Do you see? What is that? That's a big ass piece of pork, man. It was on sale. I didn't expect it to be this bloody long though. Look at this thing. It's like 2 feet long. Oh yeah, that's 2 feet. 2 feet worth of meat. Oh my God. I paid $30.46 for it. It was on sale. It says $5.49 a kg. I thought it was $2.99 a pound. But no, it's not. It's cheaper than that. $5.49 a kg. So $2.99. That would only be 2 pounds. So maybe $2.49 a pound. Now, when I bought it, I thought maybe it'd come in like this, right? Just a little piece like that. And, you know, I put these things on and they don't even work for me. Anyway, I bought it and I thought, because I got jars around here and I need to just clear out, right? I thought, oh, well, just, I don't know, get it, can up a few jars, and then, but, you know, I've been under so much stress, people, that, you know, I'm making decisions that are not necessarily conducive. In other words, you know, I'm buying things that's creating more work for me, right? Which at this point, I probably don't need. Well, I don't need extra work because I'm exhausted, right? But then on the other hand, you know, I got these jars that I bought, and, you know, I have no place to put them. I can't put them on the porch. I tried that before. The big boxes just get ruined, and I don't like that. So, and I can't take them downstairs, and, you know, it goes. Do you know where the scissors are? Did you take the scissors? No. Yeah, and they're both awake. I slept earlier. They've been up all night. They're still not sleeping. That's what I mean. We're on different weird schedules around here. So anyway, I seen it was on sale, and then I had bought those pork ribs 5 days ago or whatever. So I made a nice broth. So I'm going to use the broth with this. So I'm going to cut these up into chunks. I'm not going to can it until I'm doing the prep work right now. So I'm going to cut the meat into chunks. Fill this up. See what's left. And some I'll put in a little roasting pan and roast it up in the convection oven. And we'll see what's left, and maybe I can squeeze in a few pieces. Oh my God, this is so bloody. Maybe I can squeeze in a few pieces into this is a big ass piece of meat. Into the freezer. Or maybe I'll give some to that man downstairs. And that's why he doesn't want me to leave. Because I give him food every now and then. He'll come to the door and he'll see potatoes at the door, a whole whack of them. Oh, can I have some potatoes? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Oh, I see you have sweet potatoes there. Can I have sweet potatoes? Sure, go ahead. Oh, here. He doesn't even ask. I'm like, here, take these vegetables and blah and blah and blah. So there's benefits to having me around. Right? This thing is heavy. Oh my God. So, we'll see. We'll see what we get out of this. I did not expect it to be as big as it is. But I'm at the end of my canning days here pretty soon because I'm not buying no jars after this, that's for sure. So, I figure maybe the best way to deal with this issue, I'm not defatting it, nothing, because first of all, I can't see that well. So there is no point. Move those out of the way. So first, I don't like doing this anymore very much. It's too hard to see. When it gets hard to see, you get to the point where you just don't, some things you just don't want to do anymore. So I'm not, I'm not going to defat too much. These ones here, I'm just gonna, Andre, will you get me a plate? Because some of these I want for the freezer downstairs. Andre, get me a plate. I'm just, before I cut into squares for canning, I'm just cutting like this, because you said there's a little bit of room in Auntie Shemay's room, right?
Tiny bit, not much, just a tiny bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm just cutting off some...
Plate or a bowl?
Anything, just something to separate these things.
Give you a plate.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Just put it down.
Where? I'll put it on top of the pot here. No, never mind. Is that hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, you can put it on top of that.
I'm just hesitant.
That's fine.
Hesitant.
So I'm going to get the meat all cut up. Try and get it back into the fridge. I have vegetables in there, so there's really not that much room, but it's okay. And then wash the jars, get them ready. Take out whatever's in there. Separate the meat from the bones. Put the meat in the fridge. And then I'm going to put the broth back on low so it can just stay on the burner until I wake up after I take a nap. So I'm just going to, these are just going to go in to the freezer. Or I'll cook some. Or I'll give some to that man downstairs. We'll see. We'll see how much we got here. There's a lot of meat. So I just thought I'd show you, right? But yeah, no, I can't even distinguish the meat really between the cutting board. The cutting board and the meat blend in together and look almost the same. The only reason I can kind of see the meat, is because of the white fat is different in terms of color. Well, contrast. And of course, I'm just guesstimating the thickness as I use my fingers as a guide. And of course, I don't have a very good knife. It's taking a little longer. Let's try this one. I'm going to do 16 jars, 1 pint size. So I only have to do 75 minutes. Right, I don't like canning 90 minutes. I don't even like canning that much anymore. But I don't want to give away my canners either. And that's another reason why I would consider moving in with Rhea. I don't have to give away my canners. Or sell them, or whatever people want me to do with them. You know, or my pots or anything like that. Because she wants to learn how to can. That's easy enough to do as a blind person. I can just sit there and tell her what to do. And I've got books too, which she would appreciate. Whereas if I stay here for any length of time, you know, it's just another means to hurt me. I'm tired of being hurt in this house. People that don't appreciate me. Get away! Go! Right. So anyway, I don't know how much that worked out per pound. 2.2 pounds. You'd have to divide that by, what was it, $5.49? Oh God, I'm not even halfway through yet. Crazy. Andre, come turn off the camera. Since you're up. And I'll come back. Okay, so now we know why it was so cheap. It's fatty. So I chopped those up into little pieces. Now I can render them and then put the lard into jars, right? And then you have the cracklin. Or I can bag up little sandwich bags like that and make them flat and then stack them. And I don't know where I'm going to put them, but I'll figure it out. And then just right on the bag, pork fat, right? Raw pork fat. And then you take out a bag, put it in your frying pan, start sizzling, rendering slowly. It degreases, and then you can fry things in it, right? And then we've got that little bit left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of saran wrap on top of this for now, because it's late, right? Put that on top, that right there. So I should be able to get all of that into the one container, hopefully. Then it goes into for the fridge for the night. Well, sure. Yeah, and with the 1 hour ahead. And then there's this yet, where I have to take out the pork. And then I'm just going to put this back on low. Hold on. Okay, so next day, what, the 15th I think it is, right, of March 2025. I was up early this morning. I don't know if I recorded it, but either or. Everybody was up, 4 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm washing jars. Anyway, I only washed 10, but I'm gonna, I'm pretty sure I can put 16 of these into that canner. So I'm going to see if I can do 16 jars. So I like doing it this way. So I'm going to bring this up and just, you know, heat it up, get it boiling for a minute, and then turn it down. I have not added any salt yet at this point. Pork, sometimes you don't need it, right? Because it has its own. And then this is the ribs that I had bought, and then I got distracted. Now these you can wash off and you can dehydrate them. So whether I do that or not, my bathroom has got stuff from outside that I rescued. Anyway, plus I got this little piece of pork here that I want to just fry up with a little bit of barbecue sauce. And then everything else underneath there is the fat that I cut up real small. And I'm either going to render it, but I have to find my cast iron that I like to render that kind of stuff in. Or I'm going to put it in sandwich-sized bags flatten them out, stack them right on there what it is. And then if I want to, you know, use a cast iron frying pan, right? Not that I can see anything anymore. But besides that point, you know, you just take a frozen pack of that because it's raw, right? And you just start rendering it slowly in your cast iron. And then eventually you're going to get your little cracklins in there. Take it out and then fry your potatoes or whatever it is that you want to fry. And then this is the bone broth, which is actually quite good. From this. Now, I'm moody. And I don't want to be doing any of this. Because it's not like the good old days. Can't really see anything. Okay, so you see the white of the stove. I can kind of see it, but because my eye is so blurry, my right eye that is, can barely see anything out of the left eye anymore. I did make an eye appointment to see what my field of vision is, and then he'll tell me if I've lost any more octave nerves, which I probably have, at least in my left eye. And whatever cataract lens he put in my right eye just ruined my eyesight ever since. So anyway, this is good. No, I can't see the fat per se. So okay, so we got a glass bowl. The only thing that I see on the glass bowl is the rim because of the shadowing. I don't see from here all the way down to the stove. It all looks the same to me, where you probably see it differently. I see a bit of shadow in here. I don't really see what's on the inside in terms of the pork, outside of slightly blurry something with a little bit of, I guess, fat. Now, I tried to defat as much as I could off of that, but clearly you can see I didn't get it all. So, what I'm thinking, just taking a little bit of this, not a lot of it, because and maybe just, I mean, I have to see how much meat is there after the fact. Oh, right. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, so I just took off the bones. I'll give that to the animals outside later. Mickey's already chowing down. They bust up real easy, but they're not supposed to eat a whole bunch of bones, right? But if the cats are in and we put those outside at night, the raccoons or the skunks or possums, they get it, right? Or the coyotes. Okay, so that's all that's left. It's good. So later on, just put it in a frying pan. And heat it up with a bit of barbecue sauce. And then there's this. Oh, and I put one piece in each jar. Whoop-de-doo, what was I thinking? What a waste of time. Whatever. It's for flavor. I lost my drive for this. So I might just take this piece of meat and wrap it up and see if I can stuff it in my freezer. Honestly, I'm not doing that well, people. I'm not. I just don't have it in me like I used to. This house is too draining. There's no enthusiasm like I used to have any, you know, like when I was enthusiastic to work in the yard. Not anymore, you know. I don't care about planting food and none of that crap. I really don't. You know, I probably won't even plant that much because I just don't have it in me. You know, well, It's hard to say what for. And then in terms of food prep, yeah, I'm going to see if I can just wrap this up and put it in the freezer for another day. Because I'm just not up for it. Or I can put it in the fridge and maybe cook it up tomorrow or the next day. Cook it up in the convection oven with a potato and a couple of potatoes and a few carrots or whatever. I could do that. It's fatty. It'll be alright though. Alright, so maybe I'll do that. This cracklin crap, I don't know. Now, you know, the funny thing is, I don't really like canning anymore because I can't see very well. So it's hard, right? You know, it's just, things just get hard. So with that, you know, you think I'd be more than willing to get rid of my pots and my canners and just the whole 9 yards when it relates to that's books, all of it. But no, I know if Shimei was alive, I wouldn't have to worry about nothing. She just take it and learn to use it. She was learning to use it before she was murdered. If she would have still be alive, she'd know exactly what to do by now. It would be a given. That's what I like about Rhea. At least she wants to learn how to do it. And once she learns how to do it, she'll never look back. Alright. Marcane's not interested in this stuff. And if he ever does become interested, they'll just go buy new stuff. Because, you know, my stuff is garbage, right? We know how that works. Sell my stuff to go buy new stuff. That one's not good no more. Because my stuff is garbage. But I don't want to give away my garbage yet. And I don't want to sell my garbage either. No. Although, I think my canning days are... Well, I don't need very much anymore. The only thing that I really should be honestly canning is the fruit in the cans that need to be, like peaches, pineapple. I need to recan those, just to get them out of the cans. I haven't done that yet. Will I ever do it? I don't know. Maybe. I might. But no rush on that either. I only bought this because it was cheap, and I don't know what I was thinking. Right? But I'm not going to buy it again. I had extra jars. I just want to get them out of here a bit. I can't put them on the porch. I tried that. They just get sopping wet. The boxes get ruined. Right? I can't put them downstairs because I'll just get ragged on. So what's the point of even trying to attempt to do that? Alright. It's pretty miserable. It doesn't take much for me to crash. But these people that are going out of their way to, I don't know what they're trying to do here outside of ruin my life. That's what they want, for me to be miserable. That's why it never stops. It stops for a little while and then it starts up again. And if you notice, the intensity is getting worse. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, what if it gets real bad? Do you think you could pack up in 2 or 3 months with Rhea helping you? Just boom, 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 boom. don't know where you're going, don't know how you're going to get there, but you just know that you need to get the hell out of here, right? Because I've never been through this kind of bullshit in my whole life, people. Not from landlords, and certainly not from people. I mean, I've been through some shitty shit with people, but not with the crap that I've been going through lately. The last few years is just off the hook. Yeah. So anyway, Maria's going to come by in a few weeks from now. I told her, let me just deal with whatever I'm dealing with right now. And we're going to start looking at things. She wants me to keep almost everything. You know, it's because she's got kids. That's why. And I got a lot of kid stuff. And I want to keep it too. And she likes books. Although I'll probably sell some of these books. I'm just not there yet with it. Okay, so I'm not doing this right now. I don't want to deal with that. The lard. No, I don't want to deal with that. See, I had that piece of meat. There it is. Don't see it. It all blends together. It's stupid. This eye is almost can see nothing out of it now. Yeah. Well, he already warned me. It'll probably go completely black. Yeah. I was watching one of my old videos a few days ago. I was talking about my eyes. That's when I was seeing Dr. Gupta. The one that put all those extra freezing agent in my eyes. And then I went to my car after the fact and was spitting out 2 big green glowing gobs of God knows what by the time I got to my car after seeing her. Because she put too much freezing agent in my eyes, that's why. They did it on purpose. The technician and her. Twice they did it. They put in a whole freaking bottle. That's what they did. Anyway, I guess she had told me that there was something in the same thing like this doctor. She was surprised that I had glaucoma. But she also mentioned that there was something in the back of this eye. So when I go see the eye specialist, I'm going to ask him about that. I'm going to ask him, did you ever notice anything in the back of this eye? Because a different doctor said that there was something back there. She didn't know what it was, though. And that's probably why this one's so blind. Yeah, it instigates the pressure and everything in my head. Bending over all the time. Some kind of benign tumor or something. Probably. Something like that. Now what? See, I put down that thing. I don't know where I put it. And I can't, it doesn't stand out. This lens is crap. Did I put it back? No. I put it down. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. See? Because it's yellow on a white counter. It's reflecting off. I didn't really see it. And of course I don't see the red. I know it's red because I sort of see it if I look at it. But it doesn't even really look like red anymore. So red is one of the last colors that you start to lose when you start to go blind. That's one of the last colors. You lose greens first, blues, unless of course they're a dark blue, right? Definitely greens. Yellows. Pinks you don't really see. And then reds you can see, but Now I don't see it as well as I used to because it's too blurry, right? Easier to pick me off. Yeah. So, alright, so I'm going to put that in the fridge. I'll put this in the fridge, and maybe tomorrow my disposition will be better. Oh yes, I'm going to change this bowl. I'm going to put it in a different bowl with a lid. What size is that? That was too big. You know, those round ones with the lids. Put that in the fridge. Get this stuff out of here. I might be able to get away with just 10 jars. Maybe save the broth for soup. And then whatever's left in here, top it off with there. And then I can put that back in the fridge, and tomorrow I can maybe make a soup with that. So hold on. Alrighty-o. I guess you could say, like the good old days, eh? Okay, so this is the end of my video. Yeah, man. What happened to that park, man? You said we'd do a park. You said we'd do a park this year at Queen's Park. What's the matter with you? What happened? Well, I don't know what happened, Papa Riley. I can't figure it out. I'm looking for a calculator. So, this one did not get copyrighted. Well, it did. This came from Facebook, because I guess Facebook has taken down lives or something. They're not holding them on the server anymore. They want you to download your live, I suppose, and then what is that called? I don't know what happened here. And then upload it onto a different server, and then I guess provide a link to Facebook. But I don't use Facebook very much, so it's hard on my eyes, right? That's the issue with Facebook, you know. And plus, I'm always busy. So, but anyway, so I need to figure out how much it costed for this pork to do what I did, which I completed. Yeah. To give you an idea that even being as blind as a bat, whatever happened to that blind woman's auction, that's what this was about. We haven't quite got there yet, but you know what? Rhea would be up for it. Yeah. Wait till I get into my jewelry. And I got a few clothing pieces that could go up for auction. You know, that glitter stuff. Yeah. So, we're not out of the race yet. Oh no. I know I had a freaking... I don't want to use my brain. I got too much brain fog. Yeah. So let's see. I think it was 30 bucks on the package itself. We'll just say $32 for that pork, right? Because it's the end of this video. I almost wasn't going to post it because I didn't think it was worth it, but why not? Yeah. I noticed that anytime I try and get upbeat and positive, I try and stay on that, because that's by nature, that's what I am, right? Otherwise, I would never have done park events and worked with the kids and gone outside of businesses. And I wouldn't have done all that if I wasn't a positive person, right? But there's just so many negative individuals in the community. They come out of the woodwork. Okay, so anyway, 32. So listening to this, I'm feeling somewhat a little more positive. I wouldn't say necessarily motivated, because, you know, this really holds me back. And then, you know, just whatever, but I'm definitely feeling slightly more positive. Okay, so I got 11 jars of primo pork, right, in its own juices, because you've seen what I did. Well, I'll put this first, then you'll see what I did. In terms of cutting the meat, putting it in a bit of water, and then heating it up, bringing it to a boil so all the juices, including the blood, okay, go into the pot, and then you just heat it all up, right, and get it to that little bit of a boil, and then fill up your jars, and it's primo stuff. I like it that way, because in this way you get a lot of liquid, right, versus putting it in. I don't like raw pack. I like doing it that way, because then you've got a full jar of liquid for the most part. And it looks like these ones turned out pretty good. So, was it worth the detour? That doesn't make sense. $7 a jar? No. Something's wrong there. I don't think so. So $32 divide by 11 equals $2.91 a jar. So we'll just round it off at $3 a jar. You're looking at least probably 400 grams of pork, right? Which is better than what you buy in a grocery store. Limited salt. I only put in 3 pinches of pink salt.
Turn this into a little discotheque.
Yeah, my discotheque. I'm supposed to put together a discotheque. It's not like my heart's not in the right spot, people. It's just I'm always being blindsided. You know, and there's like shit up here that it doesn't belong up here, you know, and see, right, and then we got my little plasma ball kicking around somewhere, and I got another one of these things, you know, and I've got the little colored lights, and I'm always cleaning up after dirty cats, man. I told Andre, having to deal with what I've been dealing with my stuff being destroyed all the time, and, you know, just whatever. It's like living with a dirty cat, like Mo was going around pooping in the house. I mean, after a while, you just don't want to live with that cat no more. You know? I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, I got these videos up here, and if I ask my son to put them in the attic, you know, just until I'm ready to move or whatever, he'll just freaking fucking complain. Sorry, boo-boo complain. So, okay, so $3 a jar for that pork, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Oh yeah, because to buy that amount in the grocery store, right, you're looking at 100 and maybe 70 grams per can of flake ham, right? Which would may or may not have nitrates in it, and it's just flake ham, and you know, and that weight includes the water, so you know, you're looking at $3-4 a can there. So that's I don't even, and they're plus they're pull tabs, and you try and avoid those, right? To buy the cans and the, you know, the round cans that are preserved in nitrates, you know, I already walked you through that one. You can find them for maybe $3.75, because I did come across them in a dollar store for 354 grams, which is less than a pound. But you're dealing with nitrates, right? So either or, doing it what I did, even though it's inconvenient to do it, because maybe you're tired, or, you know, you're overwhelmed, like I've been feeling, or whatever, you know, I kind of put my mind to it, and I did it, like, within a day, basically. You know, I spaced out the prep time, I spaced out the canning time. Now they're all nicely washed, and the end of the video was showing you, right? And then all I have to do is figure out what I want to do with the lard, the fat, which I'm still leaning towards freezing it, because mean, I could render it and put it in jars, and it will take up less space, right? And I can seal it in the jar and put it downstairs, and it will sit for a very long time.
I can't wait to be there.
But,
Me, you.
what happened to the park? Mama Lynn, you said we were going to do a park event this year, Mama Lynn. You know, you just can't let people get you down, Mama Lynn. You know what I'm saying, Mama Lynn? You get your act together, Mama Lynn. And there's people out there that still, quote unquote, like you, Mama Lynn. I don't know. I don't think we're doing a park event this year, people, because I'm being wiped out financially between my landlords. And, you know, I mean, I'm not... If my son wants $1,000 to invest into equipment, I'm okay with that. I wouldn't feel like I'm being, like, robbed, right? Because it's my son, right? And I'm investing into his future by giving him the basic tools, right? To do what needs to be done, right? So that, you know, he can maintain his own home if he ever gets one, right? In terms of not having to rely on somebody else to come in and do it for him when it comes to rodents, right? So I don't... It's just, it's an inopportune time right now, right? In terms of, oh, I'm just going to be spending out like $2,000 for nothing. You know, I don't even have bean poles. Like, don't ask me to plant anything. And if I do, and they want to climb, well, they're going to crawl because... You know, there's got to be consequences to this kind of shit, right? And that's the problem. There is no consequences. People can just come into your life and take what they want without any freaking consequences and then come back and smile up in your face and act like it didn't mean anything, right? And that you're supposed to forgive and forget. Well, I don't think I'll ever forget because, first of all, I've never been through anything like this in all my life, okay? And I've been through some shitty things, like I said, right? In terms of forgiving, well, when it comes to forgiveness, you know, when I get to the pearly gates and God will say to you, Judy, why are you so, I don't want to say angry, but dysfunctional. Why are you so dysfunctional with your emotions and your feelings in terms of where, you know, they can lead to anger very quickly. And then I'm going to remind God that it wasn't me who murdered my children. It wasn't me who medically kidnapped Uncle John. Do you see how easy it is for me to get back into that whatever? But at the end of it, or rob my shit, right? It wasn't me who decided to rob my shit. So if I come to you angry as your, well, in God's eyes, we're his children, right? So if I come to you angry as your quote-unquote child, because I find it very difficult to forgive for things that were done against me, as in trespass against my persons and my family and my belongings, and there were no consequences, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace, right? Well, then I guess you're going to have to heal me before you allow me to cross through the pearly gates, because otherwise I have no choice but to go to hell. And I'm not a bad person, so I don't belong there, people. So I'm sure God will heal me before I go into heaven, okay? Other than that,
it's what are we fighting for? Listen to the message.
okay, there was something else I was going to show you here, and I already forgot. So yeah, the pork, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to render it. I kind of want to freeze it and just try it with the rendering, making cracklin, taking out the cracklin, and then just frying the potatoes. And I'm already pre-cut and everything. So I got to get on with shit that... I'm going to go outside. It's cold. Like really cold. And my immune system is already down. So I don't want to go outside just yet. I still have to do laundry. right? I'm gonna cook today. Some vegetables. I got that bone broth from those ribs and do that. Boil some eggs for Amari versus having them being fried. Yeah. We tried. I hear him in the video. Those Africans, oh my God, man. Next door, all night, with their repetitive music that kept waking me up. Just boom, boom, boom. Andre normally complains about it. Normally I'm just so big, I'm like right out of it. Woke me up like 3-4 times this morning. Oh yeah. And then after it was all said and done, they're hollering, the males are out there fighting, right? And one guy saying, oh, calm down, I know where there's some girls. Come on, let's go see the girls. Oh, God. And he's hollering, this one guy, oh, I'm coming back. And I said, Andre, I said, don't be surprised. Seriously, man. If there isn't going to be a shootout there one time. Yeah. And the bullets will come flying into the living room. Yeah. That's how that shit starts, right? Because that's an after hours, right? And like it shouldn't be in a residential freaking neighborhood. I've been to many after hours, people. You know, that's more commercial, right? You know, or industrial, right? You either industrial or commercial, right? Not residential. So I try not to think about it, right? I wanted to go over there and say, hey, but you know, you guys are being fucking noisy here. Like, you know, don't you ever think about the neighbors? And I'm like, yeah, as if they're gonna listen to you, right? As if they're not gonna listen to you. Other than that, so okay, so $3 a jar. That's not too bad. No regrets. Really, no regrets. I had the jars; they were just sitting there like a lump on a log, nowhere to put them. Right. So now I got good food in it, so that's good. Okay, so this somewhat motivates me, although I don't feel very trustful of what's around me in terms of anything that I've been experiencing lately is to hurt me and what's close to me in terms of my family. You know, with a fine line between my son and myself, as in, are you really my family, or are you just somebody that calls the card of a son so that you can bully me and do what you want with me and whatever. Because if you weren't my quote-unquote son, I'd have nothing to do with you. Like, how many times would you let some man just come into your life and start taking your shit and then think it can happen again and again and again, right? You know what I mean? The only reason he gets away with it is because he's my quote-unquote son. And I'm trapped. I'm trapped in this house, people. That hasn't changed yet, right? But we are getting close to that blind woman's auction. So there you go. Rhea, if you're watching the video, that's the way we're going to get it going, right? I'm going to say. So I think you can still run.
So I think I'm going to turn this little area
I'm always thinking
into a discotheque.
So there you go. So I'm not going to lose sight of that. Okay, right? I mean, the ball is sitting right there. I've got the little lights. It's just, you have to hang them, and there's a little. I have one that's in War Room 1 that actually is motorized, but it's already screwed up in the ceiling, plugged in. I can't get to it, so this is a secondary one. But besides that point, what difference does it make? But yeah, no, that's how I'm going to bring in when I start selling my stuff. I'm going to think about the blind woman's auction, and Rhea will help me to figure out if we can still do live streams on Facebook, right? And then I'm almost tempted to get a cell phone, almost. not because I want one. The only reason I'd buy one is for two reasons. Or get one, or however you get them. You can buy them, or you can lease them out until you pay out the lease, I suppose, right? Is one, for Andre to learn how to use a cell phone. And the way he would learn to use the cell phone would be to set me up with a live stream where I'm, instead of using a camcorder, a camera, hooked up to my computer to do a live stream, which is very stationary, right? I can use the cell phone, and I can just walk around with it and go as I go, and you know, work on those, I guess you call video logs, right? For what purpose? I don't know, because, you know, outside of bringing up your members count, because that's how they normally do it, these people, right? And then you can snag into Instagram, Facebook, I think Twitter, TikTok. I don't know if TikTok's going to be available in Canada. I don't know. But Andre would figure it out, right? He'd figure out Rumble, right? I have a Rumble account, maybe brighteon.com. I think BitChute even does live streams now. I do. So a cell phone, to run a stream, you need a streaming provider. I don't like StreamYard because that flashing, which has nothing to do with my speed on my internet, it has something to do with the company in the United States. So I can't rely on StreamYard. XSplit I like to use, and I'm pretty sure you can link into other hosting sites, and Andre can learn how to do that, I would think, right? How you do that through a cell phone, I don't know. I kind of know how to do it through a computer, but I'm not very good with it. Because I can't do it all the time, right? So therefore I forget. And with this pressure and the brain fog and the dizziness and being overwhelmed with this, you know, it's not like my brain retains, you know, the information where I'm proficient with running a live stream off of XSplit, although I do like XSplit as a service provider for streaming. So that would be the only reason I get a cell phone, would be to have Andre learn how to navigate for those types of things, right? So that if he ever, because he wants to be a gamer and whatever, and like, you know, he's already figuring out how to do things, so it just ups the game for him, right, in terms of knowledge and keeping up with technology and stuff. But it's not an expense I can take, so it's not going to happen, right? No, it's not going to happen, not right now. So if I do any live streams, it will be through my camera. Only I'm not very creative in terms of the subject matter, right? And plus I don't link into other service providers to draw that crowd in to get whatever. And even if I was to get a subscriber count, I don't know what I hope to gain from it. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish here, because, you know, there's just so much negativity in the world that I'm tired of combating against it, people. When I did the park events, you know, like there was that one year where some freaking dude just came up to the DJ tables and started pulling down the American flags, literally. Just came and just, because they were hanging up, right? And he just started pulling them down as if he had a right to pull down my flags. And then there's a video on that with my son, you know, and me, asking them why they were doing that. And it was because they were it was in 2007, 2008, somewhere around that time. Something to do with war or something with Iran or Iraq or someplace like that. Or just all the other negative experiences that I've gotten over the years when I've gone out and try and do something positive. And then, the naysayers come out and try and squash it or whatever. They quickly forget whatever, like here. Sure, you wiped out the yard of everything, but at the end of the day, what's left behind? I'm the only one that built it. And yet you still give no credit. And that's what's pathetic about it, because I basically wasted my life for somebody else to profit. And I'm still hanging on the edge off of the mountain with my nails dug into the cliff. Yeah, because I got absolutely no equity out of it. I never got a paycheck out of it. Right? I didn't, it didn't make me freaking healthy, that's for sure, because the nose is running like a freaking river, and, I'm going blinder because I'm under the hot blaring sun, or in the freezing boo-boo cold, or in the pouring rain with the mud splashing into my eyes. You know how many times mud has splashed into my eyes in this house? Too many times to count, okay? I'm just saying. And then if it's not that, you go out in the community, you go see an eye doctor, and what are they doing? They're freezing your eyes as if they were in an ice box in your fridge, in your freezer, right? In terms of 2 bottles of something, so that by the time you get out, you think I'd ever forgive that action? No, because it was done with intent. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. But it's just an extension of the greater community of what's around me and how they view and treat me, which is ultimately negative, right? Which, anything positive that I try to do, whether in my personal life or in my public life, in terms of going out and doing something in the community, it still doesn't add up to much. Right? Because there's too much controversy around me when it comes to character assassination. Right? And I'm like, when you get to my age, you just don't have the wherewithal to stand up against the negative forces that want to come and pull down your flags. That money that I'm giving my landlord could have went to a park event that could have benefited hundreds, if not thousands of people. But if you notice, it went to my landlady. Oh, but I'm not keeping it. It was the disposable dude that got the goods. He's the one who made the money off of it, not me. No. And that's not including what I lost in a physical sense with my belongings. And when I get to the pearly gates, I'll be like, well, how do you expect me to forgive that, God? Because everybody wants me to forgive them and act like it never happened. And stay mum on it. And if they do acknowledge it, they justify it for themselves before they would acknowledge what happened to me. So if I'm angry when I get to the pearly gates because I'm incapable of forgiving those acts, because technically I don't think you're supposed to go into heaven angry. I don't think so. Well, then I guess God is going to have to cleanse me and bless me before I walk through the pearly gates, because other than that, So, on a positive note though, now that I did that, uploaded it onto YouTube, I feel a little more motivated to have my blind woman's auction, right? And, we already know Ria's going to be coming by soon and We're going to look around and discuss maybe what I might or might not sell, and why and how or what, if even I could. And, you know, I don't know why I should have to, but I guess that's just the sign of the times. Right? I should be able to pack up and afford to move to another house, but the people that have taken over my country don't think that I should have a house and that I should accept my fate, and have basically put me into a hell and think I should stay in hell. But I'm not yet dead, which tells me that when I do die, before I'd go to hell, I'd face my maker, which would be God. And the only sin that I'd be coming there with, in terms of the greater sin of all sins, would be anger. Because of what people do to me, whether it's at a park, pulling down my flags, or stealing my shit, and thinking it's okay. Hold on a minute. Oh, what are you doing? Andre!
Yeah.
He's moving around.
He's fine.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, I'd have to just keep chugging along. That's what that little detour with the meat was to chug along. And it looks really tasty, and I'm actually pretty impressed with the jars in terms of what's inside them. So let's take a look and just end this video and call it a video. See? So, I'm going to put this right here, and we're just going to take a good look. Now, obviously, you can see better than me. I don't know what I see, but I can kind of see. I can see based on the contrast of the shadowing, if you want to say it like that, in black and white, for the most part. So, from what I can see here, this looks kind of tanny to me, but either or. Okay, so you can see, look, that's pretty good. Look at that. And this stuff, oh man, that's so good. That's what happens when you boil the meat in the liquid, in the water, before you can it. See, fair amount. So I'm pretty pleased with this. That's at least, you know, this is a 500 ml size jar, right? So, you know, you figure almost 3 cans of pork in terms of what you'd buy in a grocery store. 1, 2, 3. At least 2.5. And all that for $3, not including the jar. But I've had these jars for quite a while. Look how nice that is. Look at that. Now, one of these, I didn't have broth, and I had to use water. Do you think this is the one? Maybe. Let's see if we can find another one. That's really like that. I ran out of broth. Yeah, do you see how the color here is looking a little more like here, I would think, compared to this one, which had the meat but no broth? Do you see the difference? But it was, you know, just finish it up, right? Doesn't matter to me. It's canned. So this one will be a little more flavorful. Well, this one will just be more meat with less flavor, but the meat is still good, right? So yeah. Now I washed them. Just got to label them up after they're dry. Get them off the counter. Whew. And then I started working on clearing off of this, but I don't know. I think I'm going to pack up a box of miscellaneous jars that maybe I don't want, and when Rhea comes by, she can go through them and take some for herself. She'll probably take the whole box. She likes the things that I give her. Yeah, so maybe that's what I'll do. But I'm still jarring up the last ends of whatever I'm working on. Start with those peas here pretty soon. So this is the end of this video, okay? What's going on? There we go. Alrighty,